Welcome to Daddies the Podcast. I'm Erik.
And I'm Greg.
And this week, we're going to talk about a lot of things. I really want to talk to you about, we're going to get something out of the way, but mostly I want to talk to you about my trip to Cancun.
Welcome back, by the way.
Thank you. Do I look bronze?
You look like you, did you burn a little bit?
Dude, the sun down there is unreal.
Did you get some sun?
Absolutely. I got some sun. It was kind of harsh. It was kind of harsh. I would put SPF 50 on after I was burnt, and then it would still just feel like I was being baked alive.
Is SPF 50 your max?
I don't even usually use 50.
Really?
I don't burn much. Like, I hate when people say like, "Oh, you got to get that first burn out of the way." And then you're good, but like I hate when people say that, but I do. Like,
well,
that's usually what happens.
What is the number? There's got to be like a scientific when you get tattoos, they say go SPF 100.
Sure,
but
you just get that the UPF sleeve that you're supposed to put over them, right?
Right. Like, is it like over 50 that it doesn't? I don't want to say it doesn't matter, but like there's got to be
it's redundant. Like it doesn't matter anymore.
It's like
it couldn't protect you anymore.
It's like an Elden Ring.
Yes.
You're leveling up your character.
Yeah.
At what point do you get diminishing returns?
Right. It happens. It does happen.
I'm sure that's also true in other.
Some big old nerd talk right there.
Yeah.
So,
yes.
The thing that we need to get out of the way first is that this conversation here has mostly already happened 2 days ago, and someone, I won't say who.
Okay. No, look.
Just hit the mute button.
So in my defense,
you're fine.
So we're trying to do video, and we have video recording right now. You may get video with this, you may not. We're running a different type of software. We're trying it differently. We're recording the video through our iPhones.
Yeah.
We got some sweet ass, these light rings
It
looks cool.
Crispy.
It does look crispy.
Wait, ready?
Are you fucking around with the?
Can I hit the light?
Yeah.
Oh, how do I look?
Is that wait, do one more? Yeah, that looks fucking
That's
dope.
what I'm going with.
Yeah,
all right.
that looks really good. But so we were trying to do video, and we were using, like, when we started with the podcast doing audio, the all-in-one get everything
service. Yeah, that was no bueno. Just didn't work.
And the quality was shit. It looked horrible.
Yeah.
But also, so we finished the episode, and we're like, hey, let's go drive around and test out the self-driving in the Tesla. We'll come back.
Yeah.
And it'll be downloaded. And it was. And we hit play, and we're like, oh, the audio must still be. So we are recording the entire podcast through a Rodecaster Duo.
Yeah. That
That
does our audio.
It does our audio, and we are able to monitor the Mac that we're recording into to kind of hear how everything sounds. We can hear each other. So we muted the you were recording with your phone, and I was recording with the shitty camera
Webcam.
on my Mac.
Yeah.
And so we muted Erik's phone so that way there wouldn't be an echo. Well, I also hit mute for me, thinking that
It was like the overall.
but it muted me because my sound, the input was that Rodecaster. However, we could still hear each other, and a lot of the other like applications, you can't. It cuts the sound as soon as you hit the mute, but not them.
So it was dumb. So we canceled what we had with that, and we're just doing it. We're doing it the old-fashioned way with a little know-how. Is what we're doing, and it's also, may I add, the freeway.
The freeway.
So
we were able to then buy a.
My cheapskate self really loves this.
If you can see this, I got a an arm.
Yeah, I need
for
one.
my mic.
I need one.
This is really fucking cool.
I'm on lean mode right now.
What do you want? A white or black one?
Black, because once you go black, you never go back.
That is
Or
true.
what is it? Once you go black, you're in a wheelchair.
Or Family Guy, you go deaf. But this has been the arm is really good.
I want one.
It was really frustrating. We spent hours and hours, super defeating. But I'm hoping.
Yep.
This is it, man.
All right.
Yes.
Let me talk to you about. Well, since you brought it up, I'll go over it.
Yeah.
The self-driving. What did you think of the ride? So wait.
Yes.
Just the other day, my boss texts me, Trevor, and he says, "Hey, did your car?" His wife has a Tesla, and they rolled out full self-driving. It's called full self-driving supervised to, I suppose, all Teslas. I'm not. I suppose.
I think everywhere I've read, everyone has it right now.
Mine got it.
Yeah.
And You just pull down on the stalk twice, and it just drives you to your destination with almost no, like, you don't need to do anything. And we did it. We did it last week after we recorded this episode previously. 2 days ago, I should say.
Yeah.
And then we drove 5 minutes down the road, and it got us to our destination.
Yep.
It's a little wonky. Like, it pulls up to a stop sign, and it pulls like a nerd would drive, like way behind like the stop sign, the little white line.
But honestly, like, the only thing that I noticed, and you probably do too, it does get really close to curbs.
Yeah.
It does. But besides the old school, like, I don't want to say you're not supposed to rolling stop, but like it like, and then it just like,
it does a hard stop.
it does. But I
ain't getting you no tickets.
it drove us to Jenna's old house
Yep.
and back,
Yep.
and you didn't do anything.
Nothing at all.
And so that's normally what, 12, bless you.
Thank you. I held it in.
So you know what?
Wait, can I say? I had a bloody nose this morning.
Okay.
I went to AC last
Fucking
night.
nerd.
I get bloody noses like 3 or 4
Do
times
you?
a year. So we went to AC,
Yeah.
and we went to AC for a concert.
Yeah.
The Sasanta tour. It's Pucifer, Primus, A Perfect Circle.
So two
Maynard
bands.
Yeah, 2 Maynard bands and Primus.
Yes.
I'll go into detail about that now. But my mom was picking up the babysitter, my niece. She is actually my cousin. She was watching the kids last night, but my mom was picking her up.
Yeah.
And I have this bloody nose, and she knew that I had gone to a concert. And I was like, yeah, I don't know what it is. Why I have this bloody nose.
Yeah.
And she goes, don't you think it sounds like, she did like this.
What, you thought you were fucking
Chopping
just getting
up
some of
lines
that
of
nose candy? Do you have cocaine money?
Absolutely not. And
Because I would be kind of salty. We're using these busted ass mics, and
if
you
I
got
got
fucking money for cocaine. Yeah.
literally blowing it up my nose.
Yeah.
No, I don't. And I've never tried it, and I don't want to try it. That would be too much for me. I just like energy drinks. So
Well, the
I
thing
have
is with
right behind
cocaine
me.
too, you hear stories where like there are those people where it's like one and their heart just explodes. You know, you do it the one time.
Yeah, I'm
and-
good.
Okay,
good.
so
but you know what somebody did bring, which I did try, the nitrous oxide.
the air.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So usually we went to a show at the Festival Pier.
Yeah.
Decade ago.
R.I.P.
Yeah, no
Yeah.
longer there. And it was after the show, and we
Yeah.
were walking through the parking lot, and these guys were selling balloons, and I was like,
Okay.
oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Like a clown.
Yeah.
The people that were like, oh, you sweet child. No, they're filled with nitrous oxide
Okay.
and or nitrous dye. I don't know what it's actually filled with, but apparently it gets you real lightheaded.
Sure. Yeah.
So this guy that we went, he's an acquaintance. I know him. And
he
he's like
brought this.
He's like the concert friend.
Okay.
Dude, I actually have it at home. I should have.
Yeah.
I'll send you a picture.
Okay. Yeah.
It's like stupid because we didn't want to leave it in the hotel room. And
Yeah.
he just ditched it when
Yeah.
it started to be too empty. This thing is this big. It's like the size of. It's like half the size when you go to the grocery store and they're going to fill your balloons up with helium.
Okay.
It's
All
like
right.
half that size.
So it was a big
like
boy.
this
A big boy.
And it's just this little nozzle that you do.
But it makes your voice sound like this.
I guess it's denser than helium.
So do you use it to get high?
I mean, like, yeah, people do.
So you know what I'm thinking of? If you're in Colorado and the elevation's different, like it's like the air in a can. So it wasn't that.
No, this is
okay.
nitrous oxide, like the shit, like Fast
when you
and
go
the
to
Furious.
or you go to the fucking dentist, like the laughing gas almost.
Maybe, probably that's probably a more.
So-
it said not for medical use, but 2 things happened when I tried. I've never done this before. I don't
Yeah.
know why I tried it this time because
Yeah.
it sounds stupid and I probably killed
Yeah.
a bunch of brain cells.
Yeah.
But we were listening to some music,
Who are you listening to? 'Cause that determines.
A Perfect Circle. Or we were listening to some of the bands that we were listening
Sure,
to,
that's
like that we
fair.
were going
Yeah,
to go
yeah.
to that
Yeah,
night. And I took a hit of this stuff.
Yeah.
It's the same stuff that you get when you do whippets. We were basically just doing
okay.
whippets. That's what this is.
Sure. So you didn't get whipped cream before. You know, like
whipped
that
cream.
sucks.
No whipped
Yeah.
cream. So there was like this it made everything sound metallic. You ever been listening to an audio file and the audio file just starts going like almost
Yeah,
like
I don't
that?
think that's normal. What if it made everything sound like Metallica? Everything just sounded like fucking James Hetfield. Okay, can I tell you a whippet story?
Yes.
So I was probably in 8th or 9th, probably 9th grade.
Okay.
And we were staying over a friend's house. who actually no longer alive. And there were a whole bunch of us, and I think we were all smoking pot.
Yeah.
And we go upstairs, and this dude's he's in the fridge. I'm like, yo, what the fuck are you doing? And he had all the whipped cream sprayed out of a can. And he's like, you guys want to do some whippets? And when you're in school, like, obviously marijuana is the gateway drug. But like, do you remember watching the videos? Well, the gateway drug, like that's how they would sell it.
Right.
But you'd watch those videos where it's like, I did whippets, and it's like the person like drowning,
like melted
in
the couch.
And so I was like, that shit's scary. But I was always afraid of doing things that could like potentially like fuck with your breathing. Or, you know,
that's fair.
So it's interesting that but besides hearing metallic sounds, was everything else cool?
Whatever.
Yeah.
But no lasting
Would you
effect,
do it again?
Nothing like that. It was just like you've sucked the helium out of a balloon.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever feel lightheaded after?
Sure, yeah.
Kind of like that, but a little more intense. That's all it was. I'm not itching to do it. I would never buy a balloon of that.
Were you also drinking and smoking at that point?
Yeah, we were drinking. Drinking.
No devil's lettuce.
That's right, the devil's lettuce, because only once. It's all it takes.
I injected one marijuana. Okay, so
then we ended up going to the show.
Yeah.
And you know what? The show was cool. It wasn't like one of the bands opened for any of the other ones. They almost all played concurrently. They would play a few songs and then would move on to Primus. And then the Primus would play a few songs.
Were there multiple stages or
one stage, 3 drum sets though. Each band's drummer had their own
I don't know how I feel
setup,
about that, man.
and they were all up in the back. And then whichever band was out singing and playing their other instruments, they were down up front, and they would kind of take the stage. So then, like they would literally play a few songs, and it would go over to the next band. I think it went like A Perfect Circle, Primus, Pucifer, and then I think it might have gone back to Primus, or like it was a while before A Perfect Circle came back on.
Did Les Claypool have on the little hat with the bird in it?
Probably.
Did he have the bass, the really weird bass, like the stand up kind?
We were kind of far away. He was slapping the shit out of that thing though. And you know what? I don't really love Primus that much, but it was cool to see. Like they're legendary, right? Like they have.
In what world? Like not no. But like in what
the world
like,
of
music scene?
Yeah, like
is Primus like the fucking band?
I mean, I think anybody that appreciates a bass player.
That's it. Who else is in Primus besides Les Claypool? I don't know. And we only know him. Well, we know Primus. South Park. They did the South Park theme.
Yep, that's the greatest thing they ever did. They could have just retired off of that.
Yeah, and I mean, like, I don't know, like,
but there were these people. So I ranked Primus at the group that I wanted to see like the least that was there. You know, like I didn't really care. But there were these people that were in front of us. They said anytime that Primus wouldn't be playing, they would go, "Primus sucks. Primus sucks." And anytime Primus came on, they were like, "Woo!" So I guess that's a thing that Primus fans might scream like about them to like get them. But like I felt bad when Pucifer came on. A bunch of people just started like walking out. That was when they wanted to take their bathroom breaks.
So how different is Pucifer to A Perfect Circle to
Very.
Tool?
Pucifer's pretty weird. Pucifer is like weird. That's like Maynard's like passion project. Like he really likes.
Out of the 3 like big ones, you have A Perfect Circle, Tool, and Pucifer. How would you rank? Like who's on top? Tool?
Probably. I think that would be
But
the
you
typical.
said Tool's not that good live.
I would switch it. I would say, as far as popularity goes, Tool is the most popular.
Yeah.
A Perfect Circle is the most mainstream, I'd say. Like they have the most typical like progressive rock, metal. You might even be able to call some of it. And then Pucifer is just kind of some weird stuff, but
Mila Jovovich
in the one song, the Mission or something like that.
And it's terrible. You said.
I like that song.
Oh, okay.
But I would put their performances, I would swing them backward. I would swing them around. I'd say Pucifer puts on the best show.
Okay.
Then A Perfect Circle. Then Tool. Tool, that's cool to see them.
I just
like their shows
imagine
are just kind of weird.
Soundscapes. Like, all right, 10 minutes of me looping this guitar effect.
That's literally how they did an intermission. They didn't even necessarily say that they were doing an intermission. They just like, for like, it was 10 or 15 minutes.
Well,
and we were all just like,
well, do you remember though? So when bands used to do shows, all right, thanks everyone. And then they would leave like the guitar on stage.
Right.
With feedback and then one more song.
Yeah.
And then
They would
bands
come
were
out
like,
and they'd be
this
ready
is
for it.
stupid.
Yep.
Now, hey, We got 2 more, and those 2 songs, like that's it.
Yep.
Now the encore, I feel like is almost gone now.
Probably
in
for,
a way.
Probably for bands of that stature.
Sure.
Right. When's the last time you've been to like the live music, like the bar that plays like live music, and there's a band that goes, and they're not playing like a set, I guess. It's really just music in the background.
Yeah.
Like people aren't going, you know what? That might not be true. Bar 13 might have like a band that comes on.
Yeah.
And then an encore isn't, people asking for an encore is not a given in that setting.
No. Well,
So I think if you're a band
yeah.
and you rock
Yeah.
the fucking house
What more?
and people are asking for it, you better have something in your back pocket.
Okay, so
I mean, you've played in a band,
yeah.
multiple bands.
Yeah.
Has anybody ever said one more song to you?
No, but I never I was never in a headlining situation.
Right. Yeah. You don't ask.
I
the
only
openers.
ever like opened. So yeah, I never I never like
that's fair.
I like played like second to like not even co-headline, but like I've never headlined. So no, like that hasn't been a thing. But I know now I go to concerts. I think Taking Back Sunday did, and they're like, "Look, we're not doing the song and dance.
Yep.
We got 3 more songs.
Yep.
And that's what we
the
got
way it's going to
for
be.
you."
They
Yep.
did that last night.
Yep.
Maynard was like, so it was also a no camera event.
Did they make you lock your phones in the bag?
No.
They would have just called you the fuck out.
Yep.
Were there
Oh, they
lot-
did. Oh, so 2 things.
Yeah.
We saw somebody get nabbed for it. No, you know what? I didn't see anybody get nabbed for it. And I saw 2 people die.
Wait,
Basically,
okay.
carried out.
Oh.
Dead bodies. Like they looked like straight up dead fucking bodies.
The show was that lit? What happened?
I mean, that happened in the first like 10 minutes. So people were like intoxicated before. They were probably doing whippets in the seats.
Sure, your man was getting everybody. Well, but I mean, does someone statistically die at every concert?
Statistically, probably not every concert, right?
But someone gets taken out on a stretcher probably every concert.
Yes.
I'm sorry,
Just
yeah, not
that.
like
not literally
like,
dies.
I'm sure those people also didn't literally die.
Right.
But does someone get
right,
removed
Probably.
on a stretcher?
I haven't seen anything that bad since I went to a Dave Matthews Band concert.
And that's so
People
dumb.
are getting carried out on stretchers at a Dave Matthews Band concert.
Dave Matthews has
like to fucking
no
party.
business killing anybody. Like there's no reason why.
But yeah, I saw 2 motherfuckers like
Yeah,
die.
yeah.
But he was like, no cameras at all, everybody. Just 3 fucking hours. Just enjoy the music. And I was like, I can get down with that. That's super cool. I enjoyed it. He said the last song, everybody could pull him out. I'll let you know.
Okay,
You pull out your cameras. And I said, that's cool.
Yeah.
And they played new music for the last 3 songs, I think it
So
was.
songs that no one ever heard.
Nobody
so
ever
it's
heard
like-
of it. Yeah, that's okay.
So
Whatever.
that's the trade-off.
Here's the idea. Yeah, here's the idea. You know, that's
Sure. Yeah.
This is the gist of what our next set of music is going to sound like.
Well, but you think about it too, like a lot of shows, people who have their phones out, they will have their phone out
The whole time.
the entire show. So they'll
They'll never watch that again.
No, so
They'll never watch it
They're
again.
doing it so they can upload it on YouTube or TikTok or whatever, and say like, "Hey, look, like I got."
Clout. Is this clout?
It is, yeah. And I don't know.
You want to hear some really fucking coincidental shit?
Okay.
So, we went with. I bought 5 tickets.
To the show.
Yeah, back in November.
Yeah. Very expensive, by the way, right?
Yeah. It was going to be 3 couples. I was going to
Yep.
buy 6, but Jill's husband Paul couldn't go.
So did she ride with you?
She was good. No, she was going to. He knew he couldn't come.
Okay.
Turns out he could come all of a sudden, but we only had 5 tickets. So we were like, huh. So he came up to Atlantic City and we were hanging out beforehand. Jill's cousin was also going to this show.
Okay.
They had somebody that was sick
Oh, so it worked out.
and they had a ticket to sell.
Oh,
so they
okay.
sold it to Paul
Perfect.
out of the whole entire stadium. How close do you think he was to us? His seat that he purchased.
Was he right next to you guys?
The very fucking next seat.
And you had seats. That's what I was going to ask. Was it all seats?
Yes, the whole show was seats.
Okay.
Yeah, and we were up in the mezzanine.
Well, did he get the cousin get that is weird. So that means they were all next to you too.
No, for some reason. Yeah. Not real life. I should go buy a lottery ticket on my way out of here.
Yeah.
I don't believe in the lottery, but
Or
like,
you're
that's-
gonna die on the way
I
out
will
of here.
likely
Yeah,
die on my way home from this.
That, yeah.
You should carry it. You can keep doing the Daddies podcast thing. Just find a different daddy.
Yeah, if one of us dies, that really is going to put a hindrance on.
It would suck.
It would just be Daddy the Podcast.
It would be pretty unfortunate.
Yeah.
Daddy the podcast.
And just one person talking to themselves. But anyway, okay. So,
So that was the fucking winky.
Yeah.
But that was it for the show. That was just last night. I didn't get to sleep till after like 2:00, and we had to come back this morning for one of Salem. She had a softball parade. It was like opening day for the
It was
Piedmont,
today.
for the Piedmont League. It was today.
Isla starts soccer on Sunday, so I guess now is like
Sports
are in full.
Silas had we had so much stuff. They both had practice before we left for Atlantic City yesterday.
Yeah.
Silas had a football game, and a practice and a game. Salem had a softball practice. And so I picked up the babysitter.
Yeah.
And
So you're just spending money this weekend.
all week for the vacation.
Oh
and then-
yeah. So you're broke.
I'm very broke. I need to go back to work tomorrow.
Farm some money.
Yeah. But then the babysitter,
Yeah.
she was at our house
Yeah.
with no kids because like we had to then have people bring the kids back
Oh
home
yeah.
for a little while. Like that's how busy we are.
So so you went to the parade.
Yep. And then I came right over here.
So you're
I'm
tired.
so tired. I'm so tired. Can you
And
see
we
it?
haven't even touched on the Cancun trip yet.
Let's go to Mexico.
Let's go because you know what? I want to hear about it, and I heard about it before, but
You have heard about it before.
now
I'll tell you again.
I probably don't remember because of how frustrated I was the first. So let's hear. Okay,
Can you double check right now and see if we're muted?
we are muted, but
Motherfucker. Motherfucker. Stop. No, just leave it. Just leave it.
but I mean like, but we're good muted.
Okay, good.
We're recording, and that's all that matters. If this video doesn't, yes, we are. Also, if you look around, you can just see it. This place is a disaster right now. We're.
This is a time of transition.
Would this be alpha testing?
Yeah, sure.
Right.
Sure.
Because I don't know.
This video might not make it to see the light.
Quality
today.
looks good.
It does look nice.
Well, you can see like the desk has
Just a bunch of shit on it. We'll spruce
where
it up.
I'm currently sitting isn't.
and I need the arm because I'm super lean mode.
how dog. I told you. You could have had one.
I know. I was like, I'll probably be fine. I wasn't thinking about this.
Which side are you going to put it on? The left or the right?
I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Probably-
over my head like a Trojan helmet. It'll just go like.
Well, I'm trying to think. So, in terms of like how it would look the best,
Probably have it over here. That's where I would.
and bring it over. No, I think over. No, because then it would be coming around. I don't know, but I love it. Well, so anyway, okay. So you went for you went
Cancun 4 days.
4 days.
We were there from we got there later on Saturday.
Okay.
We were there all day Saturday, all day Sunday, all day Monday, all day Tuesday. So we were there for 4 full
four
days.
full days.
And then we left some early on Wednesday morning.
So
You know what? The international travel,
Yeah,
we got
yeah.
our passports
Yep.
for this. I'd been to the Bahamas before, but
Yep.
that's like pretty close. So I hardly count that as like leaving.
so
the
you had to
country.
go through customs.
I had to go through customs, and honestly, it was all self-reporting. Like,
Oh, was it?
well, they were self-reporting and a drug sniffing dog or a dog that was like checking us out.
And you would be
And he was like-
fucking stupid.
Fuck, dude. He definitely like when the dog came over, he was like, "Stop." And I was like, I didn't have anything on me. I still got nervous though.
Sure.
Like,
what if
'cause
you did? What if somebody
planted something on me, and then they really got through because the dog was busy with me? I heard that's how you do it.
What would you do?
I'd be fucked, right? Stuck in Mexico. I'd be in Mexico still.
Like, I swear it's not mine. You get like a 30-year sentence.
It's not mine, baby. I swear.
So you get through.
So we get through, and we eventually get to our resort. Like driving through Quintana Roo, like Cancun, Mexico,
yeah.
it was like, holy shit, this is a real shithole. Like there's like, I saw a 3-legged dog, like just walking the streets.
Where did you stay?
The Planet Hollywood. And I'll tell you, the only reason I remember it was Planet Hollywood is because I thought it was, what did I tell you I thought it was? I think
Rock?
it was Hard Rock, which is actually, ironically, where I saw the show yesterday. So I thought it was Hard Rock because I always get the two of them. Here's how I remember.
Yeah.
Because they had H everywhere for Planet Hollywood. Even like blasted down from the ceiling onto the floor in a little light thing. So I kept thinking I was staying at the Pornhub resort.
And do you think that there is a
Pornhub resort?
Yeah.
Wait, isn't it called like Temptation Island or something like that?
I
Where
think you're
everybody
thinking of-
just goes to
Or no,
fuck.
Club Shampoo.
The one in Philly that was 18 to enter or under 18?
Wait, was it?
Is that what Club Shampoo was?
Or that was Club H2O.
Oh, Club H2O.
Where it was 16. Wasn't it like it was 18 under?
I don't think you could go in if you,
you
were
couldn't
over
go.
18.
Yeah. And because it was H2O because they served you water.
I might have been to Club Shampoo back in the day. I think Shay wanted to go for like an emo night.
I used to go to school with somebody who would go to Club Shampoo to suck dick so he could get the money to run away from home.
Oh, nice.
So-
that sounds reasonable.
So I think that's where I met you.
Yeah, sure. Wait, Greg?
So you get to the Pornhub hotel.
Yep. Pornhub Resort. It's all inclusive.
Yeah.
Everything is included in there. And I mean, overall, just as a rating, none of the food was fantastic.
Disappointing. That's disappointing, man.
I wouldn't say yes, it is disappointing, but I wouldn't say that any of the food was particularly disappointing. It was just very mid.
But if
Like,
I'm on
nothing was
vacation, like
fantastic.
the one thing I want is just really good food. You know,
the same thing with the drinks. None of the drinks were very strong.
Really?
Or they were never very strong or very big. So you had to keep going back up. And I know why they do it. They don't want people to get too blasted or be ordering too much food. Whatever. That's how they
They're
keep
on vacation.
That's how they keep their costs down.
well, sure, because so you could just go to the bartender and be like, "Hey, let me get
Let me get
a Modelo."
3 beers. So they only had Dos Equis. And let me tell you, since I've been back,
Do
I've
you
been
only
saying a lot of.
drink-
I've been saying I had a Dos Equis at the bar. Or at the. I had a Dos Equis in Atlantic City.
I don't think I've ever had a Dos Equis. What
Just
is
a
it?
lager. It's just a lager, like a Yingling almost.
Oh,
Yeah, pop a lime in there. Tastes very good.
so you couldn't get a Miller Lite over there?
They had one import for them. It was Coors, and you couldn't get it everywhere.
Really?
Yeah, and they were all canned.
But you couldn't get Modelo over there.
No
Which
Modelo.
isn't that
Probably a Pornhub resort thing.
sure? They have a contract with.
Yep.
I don't know. If I'm on vacation, dude, I want awesome food and awesome drinks. Mainly,
too.
a
Me
lot of
too.
emphasis on the food. If
Yep.
the drinks are mid,
Yep.
that's
Yep.
fine. If,
Yep.
As long as the food is.
Yep. And it was like I said, fine, whatever. It doesn't take away. But there was a lot of wacky shit.
Yeah.
going
Okay.
on
So
there. Where do I start? I guess I'll go over the club because there's a lot of things that
Yeah,
happen at the club.
yeah.
But here's, God, it's gonna sound bad, I guess. The vibe of the club was, 18 to enter and drink, right? And you're in Mexico,
Because
you can
18
drink
is
at
the-
18 years
yeah,
old,
right.
legal drinking age. It seemed like there was a lot of parents, like adults, like that would bring their kids that were 18 to give them exposure of, hey, here's the bar scene. Like here's
Get
here's
it out of your system.
sure,
Right?
You're going to go to college,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
here's what you
get
can
it,
expect to see.
Yeah.
And that was fine, but there was a fucking zombie. So the very first night we were there on Sunday night,
Okay.
and I know I already told you this,
Yeah.
but I got an over the pants hand job from some girl that we were like
And
familiar with.
and so something we were talking about. So
It wasn't very long.
yeah. So how long?
45 seconds. I froze. It was less than a minute. But
I mean,
still,
that's
like,
all you need. Is that? I mean, like that's.
and then I had to go change my
Yeah.
shorts.
Well, so you get an over the pants handy to
Yeah.
completion. Now, is it cheating?
not according to the workaholics.
And so yeah, they
so
would.
and so Shay knew. Shay saw what was going on, and she
Yeah.
was like, "But I froze. I
yous
didn't,
guys.
I froze. I didn't. I was like, and I was like, hey. And so she eventually came over and was like, excuse me, that's my man.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So she broke it up. Now,
Yeah. But then they were like dancing, like it wasn't weird or anything like that afterwards.
now, that's not the first over the pants handy that you've gotten.
It's not, surprisingly. It seems to be my thing.
That is
I
your
get
thing.
about one a year, maybe one every 18 months.
So you have like people who get divorced a lot. You have people that cheat, and
Yep.
then you just have you, and you
Over
just
the
get
pants.
a lot of over the pants.
And Jay
hand
just
jobs.
keeps going, Eric, you.
Kiss, kiss. But honestly,
I'm not
like,
looking for him either. I'll tell you this. I can't go into that story right now. I'll tell you that story another time.
Sure, that's fair. Okay, so what else? Like,
There was this woman. We called her Flotation
okay,
because she looked like she could save everyone in a pool. She had these big, giant, triple Z titties, very fake looking, stuck out the sides. Like if you could, we were following her later, and you could see them from behind her sticking out the sides.
Was she was she good looking?
No, not at all. But like she was like, you could tell she's had a lot of work done.
Sure. Yeah.
Just very fake and plastic looking.
Yeah.
I think they call. I've seen it in porn. They like to. I think it's the look that they're trying to achieve.
Yeah.
Is the look of a bimbo. Is like
Oh, okay.
literally what they. I think what they want to go by. I won't assume that's what she wants. But I'll tell you what made me feel really bad. We were following behind her and her husband, who was like real like, hey guys. He was like real nerdy.
Clearly paid. Probably
He
for
probably
all
paid
the
for
work. Unless
yes.
she has an OnlyFans.
And she
Which,
might.
yeah, more.
She might.
More power to you. I mean, because
If you had an OnlyFans and you were out at some place like that, do you think you'd wear like a QR code somewhere?
Yep.
Like, hey, scan to.
well, because so you look at OnlyFans as it's a business. I mean, like,
yep, you got to promote it.
the content you're selling it's money, right? Like the shit you're putting on there. If you can get people to subscribe to you, they will throw money at you.
Yep.
So
I've spent probably $20 overall lifetime.
so we go on OnlyFans
Yeah.
together.
Yeah. All right.
and
Of
separate.
course.
We talked about this. Like the male market on OnlyFans is probably a little bit different than the female.
Yeah, I'm
Like,
sure.
I don't think there are a bunch of female individuals looking for dudes
Just
on
to
OnlyFans.
be
Hey,
doing what?
I'm tuning in to watch Greg and Erik jerk off.
Right. Solo. Or maybe duo.
Or we
so
could,
you know what it
we
is.
could jerk off duo or pole to hole.
Pole to
Wait,
hole. That's just that's sex.
Yeah, you're right.
What is it, guys? If you're passing a guy in a short alley, it's pole to pole or hole to hole.
Pole to hole, or we could do. We almost had an Arlo.
Oh yeah, he might
Arlo
still come.
breach,
He
yeah.
might still bust through that door. It's okay. We can always
Yeah,
just shut the door.
We are the daddies. We taled about this.
That's right. Yeah.
you know,
Part of daddies is children.
and it's weird, like doing the video.
Yeah.
Like now that I'm going to tell you, this is probably going to happen to you, but like my nose keeps like, and I keep wanting to scratch it.
I
but
sneezed already.
You did.
This is fun.
So anyway, so pole to pole or hole to pole.
No.
Or wait.
Pole to pole or hole to hole. Pole to you have to pass a man pole to pole like you're sword fighting or hole to hole.
What about if
Asshole
you're riding
to
a
asshole.
motorcycle? Do you go
Oh yeah.
pole to pole?
You have to go pole to hole. Yeah. I guess if
Wait.
you were facing him sitting on the handlebars.
So okay, so big old. So she had kids.
Oh yeah, so we guessed
Yeah.
that probably he had kids and then she was stepmommy,
Oof.
right? Probably.
What's like one of the number one things that people watch on
Yeah, incest. And it's usually
incest,
stepmom
with stepmoms. So that means
or stepdad.
those kids or stepbrother. I know you're big. You were big into step uncle.
I love watching step uncle.
step uncle and
Step uncle, no. What are you doing to me?
How did I get
Step
stuck
uncle
in the
nephew.
dryer?
Step uncle nephew, right? This is what I like.
Or what is it? Not mom.
Not mom fucks not son. But yeah, she like
So those kids get teased.
probably
Right, like-
or maybe they tease themselves. Maybe they
Hey.
tease her. I don't know.
Hey, I fucked your mom. Speaking of fucking moms,
Yeah,
so
we've got some skin in that game almost.
you more so than I.
Yeah, because that almost happened at your wedding.
Yes. Almost 10 years ago now. In a few months, it'll be because you just had your.
Because I
10
just had my 10 years.
So
That's why
that'll
we
be
went to Mexico.
10 years, man.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Coming up on 10 years.
It seemed very much so.
Yeah.
That it looked like your mom was hitting on me.
Yeah, sure.
hard.
Yeah.
And I was.
You were
okay.
here for it. Yeah.
And then it didn't happen. But if it had happened, I'd have been your dad.
And then we realized then if I would have married your mom,
Yep.
we would have been
Dad brothers.
hence Dad Brothers the podcast. However,
Yeah.
when we did a little bit of research for all of 2 minutes, we found that there was already a Dad Brothers podcast that was around, and I think it was like super family friendly, not what we were going for at all.
We're kind of the opposite of that.
And that's where Daddies the podcast came
Just
from.
Daddies.
And I love our name, like I do.
too.
But it's just funny because
In our hearts, we were always dad brothers.
we were always Dad Brothers, and so we were going to be Dad Brothers the podcast,
Yep.
and then motherfucker.
Yeah.
And I'm sure if we wanted to be assholes, we could have really
We probably could have
pursued
pushed
that.
it.
But
Yeah, we could have. But we don't want that smoke.
no need. That's dumb. That's
right.
unnecessary. So definitely get teased for
Yeah.
her.
But these things were gigantic.
yeah,
Like, I don't
yeah,
think
yeah.
that my dick would have fit out the other end of them if I was
No.
really fucking her. No.
Wow.
Not
I
at
mean,
all. Not at all.
that's
It's not saying a lot, I guess.
okay. So speaking of dicks,
Yes.
I'm looking around. There are like boxes you can't see in the cameras, but there are boxes everywhere. And I was shipping out. I ship a lot of shit.
You do be
Do a lot
shipping.
of third party reselling. And so normally I ship everything through Pirate Ship.
Which I love that name.
It's so
by the way.
good.
Pirate Ship.
But I do have to say, not endorsed. I feel like I have to say that every time I mention any.
How about this? Hey, y'all. We'll let y'all know when we are endorsed by somebody.
And it may be sooner rather than later. You never know. But we.
Look, speaking of boxes.
Hold on, I hear screaming.
No, you're okay.
Oh, okay. All right. So,
Speaking of boxes.
speaking of boxes,
You know why they call me a box turtle, right? Nom, 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 nom.
so
Yeah, you do a lot of shipping.
I do a lot of
Pirate
shipping,
Ship.
and normally I use the Measure app if I don't know the size.
Mm-hmm.
But normally most of the boxes that I ship in are 6 by 4 by 3.
Yeah. Which just happened to be the measurements of my penis.
And so that's how I measure boxes based off of my dick. So I don't like pull my dick out, but I'm like, okay,
You know what size your
that's
dick
around
is.
5.5, 6 inches. So
Yeah.
that's 3 inches bigger than me. So that's no, but like that's how I'll say, okay, that's about one of my dicks.
Right. And then you
And-
just carry that forward and say, well, that's
Guess
one
how
of my
many
dicks.
times I fucked that up? Guess.
Once.
Twice.
Right, twice. That's good.
I've probably shipped 200 packages at this point.
Do you have a name for this measurement system?
I should.
Yeah. Can we come up with it off the top of off the dome?
So you have what? Like you have the metric system, you have the
Is it metric and standard?
and standard, and
what
then
we
you
use?
have
Oh no, I'm sorry, imperial. Right? Is it imperial?
yes,
Is
yeah,
what
yeah.
we use is like inches and feet and all that.
centimeters and
What about the
dicometers.
dicometers?
The Dietrich system.
Ah,
That's it.
yes.
That's it.
The Dietrich system.
The Dietrich system.
Okay.
And it is how many dicks. So you look at a roller. A roller's
yeah.
what, 12 inches in
Yeah.
a foot?
Yeah.
The Dietrich system is it caters to the individual.
Yeah. Oh, it's like when you go to a thing, they're selling raffle tickets.
Yeah.
And they say 1 arm's length.
One dick length.
Right.
Just one
Let me
ticket.
get. they
Would
rip
you
your
actually
ticket in
get
half.
you get cucked because one arm's length is probably significantly bigger than 99.9% of the people besides OG Mudbone.
Yeah, my man's slanging a big old.
R.I.P..
Yeah. Is he dead?
Spectacles,
Testicles, wallet, and
However, it
watch.
fucks me up because I'm a lefty.
So you wear
So my
your,
my watch is on my
wallet
right
and
hand.
Watch. Yeah. So you have to do it and watch.
Okay, so what else?
what else happened?
yeah.
I was briefly Daddy Bubbles.
Okay,
So
all
I,
right.
I met these nice women, and I
Yeah.
always forgot what their names were. The one's name was Kia, and I kept calling not to
Like
her
the car?
face. Yeah.
Okay.
So I was like, oh, what were those nice? Her name was like Nissan or something stupid, and I couldn't remember. Her name was Kia. Kia, Raj, and Rose were their names, and they were
Wait.
they were in the hot
Those
tub.
were 3 different people.
There
Yeah,
was
Kia,
3,
Raj, and Rose. It wasn't
I think-
Kia, Raj, Rose.
I think Kia and Raj were sisters, and then Rose
Okay.
was like Kia's daughter or something.
I've never met a Rose. Was she?
No, I mean, no, not. I was just being friendly.
Sure, okay.
Daddy Bubbles. I was just
All right.
making friends in the
Yeah.
hot tub because you know me, I love a hot tub.
You live a hot tub and could have been another over the pants handy.
Funny enough, that's where my first over the pants hand job happened was in a hot tub.
So it all
but
comes-
again, I'm
so-
not
so-
going
so
into
anyway,
that
okay,
story.
So you're in the hot tub
I'm
with
talking to them,
yeah.
and I told them about my podcast.
Yeah,
And I
okay.
said, yeah, search up the podcast, the Daddies Podcast. So if you're
yeah.
listening, I think they're from New Jersey, I believe.
Which is wild.
But in the hot tub, the bubbles would go for like 60 seconds, and
Yeah.
then they would turn off, and you'd have to hit the button. It was a
Yeah.
heavy press that you had
Yeah.
to do on that button, and I kept hitting, and I was like, "Oh, don't worry." I said, "Don't worry, everybody. Daddy Bubbles got this." And I was drunk.
So what is that? Just so that you don't over bubble it?
I think they were just being cheap.
Sure.
They didn't want bubbles just running all the time.
And probably you're using jets or whatever.
More, but like that whole is real chintzy.
And do you remember like the older like soaking tubs used to have the jets and they would like pump
like for in your bathroom.
And they stopped selling those because I guess bacteria would build up in the actual system.
Yeah.
But that was like, would you like jets or not in your tub?
Yes. Of course I want jets in my tub.
You know, I was thinking though, so you get sick if you're over in like in a different country, different part of the world, wherever. Would you be comfortable seeking medical treatment like when you were there?
So they had like a hospital wing or like a medical wing, I guess. But
yeah, but they could probably do like, oh, you broke your leg. Here, let me split it up for you. Now
I would. So if I broke my leg,
yeah,
I would let them do the thing there.
Yep.
And then I'm just
immediately going.
I'm rocking it back to the airport, like splinted the way that they got it. I'm hoping that by the time I get back home,
okay, so
I don't want to go to the hospital there.
So did you see did anyone die? Did anyone get
somebody cracked their fucking head? Somebody cracked their fucking head open.
And
so he was walking up to a cabana and he split his head open when he fell on the steps. And Shay was a little sauced up. She was like, grab your drink. And walked over. She was like, she was looking over. She was like, oh, that's a lot of blood. Excuse me, does anybody know I'm a nurse. Does anybody know if he's on any blood thinners? And they were like, he was like, oh, I'm his friend. He's not on any blood thinners. And Shay was like, all right. He should be fine.
He just walked away.
And then we had that same cabana the next day.
Oh, no.
So we were hoping that he was okay.
Yeah.
But we were joking. We were like, before you can come in here, does anybody on blood thinners?
Well, okay. And so hear me out.
Go ahead, crack your head open. As long as you're not on blood thinners, you're fine.
If you cracked your head, like, I don't know if you're on blood thinners. I'm going to assume you're not.
Right.
I don't know.
But I guess that's why she asked, because like if he was bleeding so much that it was a problem, we would have known it was a problem. But I guess it was.
But like as a like friend, are you supposed to know? Like, should I know? I know you don't take anything that's prescribed every day.
Right.
I also don't.
Oh, good. Yeah, you should probably tell me that. You know what, everybody? Make it a point to know if your friends are on.
You should have a.
I guess that's what emergency contacts are for, though. Like,
but okay.
You should probably call Shay for that anyway.
Yeah, right. But you should have a medicine buddy.
Sure.
A medicinal buddy.
Wait, do you have that set up on your phone?
I do.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
I guess that's the other.
But
answer.
my thing
sure,
is,
still,
like,
even then,
I don't take anything. Like, I have a script for my migraine pills.
Sure.
My migraine.
But you're only taking that as necessary.
Exactly. Right. And then I have a script for Flonase just because it's cheaper to get it through insurance than you get three big ones for $15. Aren't they normally like fucking money?
Probably each one is more than $15. Yeah,
so
I think so.
Run it through insurance. Okay. That's a call. Call to the doctor and I get it sent right through Amazon.
I'll try that. I just don't like going to the doctor.
No need. Just go on Amazon and then that's what I did. And then they just put the script through.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So someone died. Now, do they have like if you were drowning, are there like lifeguards or?
Yeah, there were lifeguards.
Yeah.
Her name was Flotation.
Was she there the whole
yeah, pretty much. We would see her every day.
Yeah.
And I would go, oh, there she is.
Did you ever converse with her at all?
No.
Was she older?
I wouldn't know how. Yeah. 50, I guess.
What's your cutoff?
Oh, I would go. How old am I? 35 now.
Yeah. So you don't have much time left. You don't have your whole life again.
I think I go 12 years up or down, 12 or 13 years up or down, in either direction. Right.
I would try 75. I think 75 is my cutoff.
75. So if she's 76, you're like, nah, baby, I'm out.
It's like Legos. Once you hit, what is it, 100?
Yeah, Betty White.
Betty White.
Betty White.
Well, she actually did. She didn't hit 100. Didn't she die like a week before?
That's shitty.
After all that. That's classic Betty White.
Well, now she could play. Now she can play with all the Legos she wants.
Sure. Spiritual Legos.
Yeah. I took Silas to the Lego store the other day.
Did you?
He was hype as fuck he had like $55 from Easter or something like that.
So he could get half a set.
He got a bunch of little things like what do they call the little? I know you Lego pretty hard.
The minifigs?
Not minifigs. They're about this big.
The
blockheads.
Blockheads.
Yes, yeah. He got a couple blockheads, like a Sonic and a Darth Vader.
But honestly, $55, you're not getting a set really with that. Like, especially
really.
You're getting like the small box. Like, you're not even like, didn't we go there and like the Animal Crossing house was like $60?
Yeah.
Dude.
It's pretty excessive.
I mean, you can spend in that store alone, like one set, wasn't it like $899?
Oh yeah. They have over $1,000 sets.
Yep, and they're fun to. I mean, I have a set that's broken on the floor that I need to fit. I wonder if I can salvage. I probably
can.
No, I mean like just if I can actually remember
Rebuild it the way that like in reverse order or like maybe.
Because if not, I'm going to take it apart and sell it.
So
Yes,
Mexico.
yeah,
I told you that the food was just meh.
yeah.
We on the way in. There's one funny thing that happened.
Yeah.
We stopped at they call it. It was like a Walmart Express.
Yeah.
And Shay, we'd never been to Mexico before.
Was it like how big was it?
You know what? I didn't go in
Walmart
because the van driver, it didn't look very big.
Yeah.
It looked like I don't know, what big. I don't know, an Aldi, a grocery store, but just a regular small grocery store.
So it was tiny.
Yeah, an Aldi, yes.
Okay.
An Aldi is actually the best way to. And I actually stayed in the van because like all of our belongings that we've ever had.
Yeah, so you would
in
have
that country-
left, and then your shit would have just disappeared.
Sure. So I stayed back in the car, and they
Yeah.
all went in,
Yeah.
and they come back with collectively there was 6 of us in the van.
Yeah.
Total, 8 gallons of water
Fair.
because we'd never been.
Yeah.
So we didn't know.
But
So
you don't
we
really
get-
want to be drinking water.
So we get to we get to the place and they drop us off
Yeah.
and they're like, "Hey, what room are you in? Can you guys split this up by the rooms that you're going to be in?" And
Sure.
so we set it up. And he said, "And whose water is this?" And Shay was like, "That's all mine." And he goes, "Ma'am, we are in Cancun, not the desert." He clowned the shit out of her. He said, "We have water."
Bottled water.
Yes.
Included.
Yes.
You could have unlimited bottled. Was it sealed bottles?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
okay.
yeah. Everything. So
Yeah.
everything. Like even they're like
Yeah. How do you do ice?
everything. The big ice trucks come in and it's just shit.
Bags of ice?
Yeah,
Wow. So, because you don't want to drink raw dog water ice, like you
I
want it to
guess.
be. But how do you know that they're actually?
I don't. And there were a couple of us that got sick. I didn't get sick, but two of the guys that we were with got sick for like the last full day.
Oh, really?
And they were
straight diarrhea or
One of
vomiting.
them had diarrhea. The other one was vomiting.
And so, I mean,
We don't know what it was. Maybe they were just party too hardy, which was the case the day before.
different place. I feel like you're eating food that is it all just like?
It's pretty greasy.
Did they have sushi?
They did have sushi, but I didn't get any. Sorry.
So did you see like what was like the food, like burgers?
There was a buffet. We did go. That was
buffet. Bleh.
I liked the buffet. The buffet was probably the best.
Yeah.
Maybe because you could get as much as you. That was the time where you could get as much food as you wanted.
Could you do the buffet every day if you wanted?
You sure could have 3 meals a day. For sure.
What about like snacks? If you wanted snacks, how does that work?
So that's the other thing that we got from the Walmart
Yeah.
was a bag of Doritos, and it was
Okay.
Mexican Doritos,
Yeah.
nacho cheese. Right?
So you couldn't
The
eat
OG.
any.
Because they're nacho cheese. That never gets old. Yeah.
I didn't make that same joke 2 days ago, so that's cool.
So they're better than our fucking Doritos. Mexican Doritos better than American Doritos. They were pretty spicy. I mean, and by I say pretty spicy, they weren't. I wasn't like,
Yeah.
but like the flavor was just better.
Well, and so was it still like red bag? Like,
Yep.
Do they look like standard Doritos?
Yep.
There was nothing that would be able to differentiate them from an American Dorito.
Except that everything was written in Spanish.
That's fair.
I was gonna say Mexican. Everything was written in. Can I tell you about my fucking faux pas that I had on the way back?
Sure. Yeah.
So we are driving back to the airport,
Okay.
and the guy was late picking us up.
Yeah.
Which is dangerous.
Yeah,
when
yeah,
you're
yeah.
driving somebody to the airport when they need to get on a flight.
Yeah.
We were actually in no risk because it was raining here a lot.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
our flight was already delayed, but the guy didn't know that. So he was driving like a madman.
Wait, so he thought you were like
Late because he was late picking us up, and
Okay,
then-
yeah.
so he thought that we were gonna like miss our flight. So he was driving like crazy,
okay.
swerving it. One
Yeah.
of one of the people we were with was getting like sick and like
Really?
yeah,
Like car sick?
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Shay almost got sick on the plane, but anyway, sorry.
Yeah.
So he like a bus pulls out and like another person pulls out. Like people are driving like assholes, just
Yeah.
like they do anywhere. Local drivers.
Yeah.
So he goes, and he doesn't speak very much English. But he goes, "Oh yeah, that's the worst part about driving in Mexico is Mexican drivers." And everybody kind of chuckles. And I go, huh, buddy, we got the same problem where we're from. And everybody just looks at me
Cocks their heads
and
to
they
the
go,
fucking side.
what the fuck? And I go, oh my God, no,
I
wait,
didn't
I
mean it
meant
like
local
that.
drivers. We have bad local drivers as well, not Mexican drivers.
Did he appreciate that, or he probably didn't understand you?
I don't
Like,
think he heard me. But everybody else in the fucking car did.
have you ever been in a, like, was that the wildest Uber-esque service? I know it wasn't Uber, but like, because I got one. We went to Disney World. I mean, this was 2012, maybe.
Okay, over a decade ago.
My dad, sister, and I went.
Okay.
I was dating Jen. Like, we were just dating at
Sure.
that point. And the dude picks us up. Like, my dad ordered like a shuttle from the airport.
Okay.
And this dude rolls in, and they always come to get you. For whatever reason, flights, you have to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning. It's so fucking stupid. But my man's drink of choice was NyQuil. And for whatever reason, everyone was cool with that except for me. I was like texting my dad and sister. I'm like, yo, he's like,
Yeah, that sounds terrible.
Yeah.
Like, I'm pretty sure it says on there you're not supposed to like be driving
Like,
or operating equipment
and
while you're...
I'm assuming it's like he was sick. So it was like, hey, you
Yeah,
like,
that's what they got Dayquil for.
yeah, right.
He's just drinking both at the same time.
Just
Got
Forrest
Forrest
Whitaker.
Whitaker eye.
Right.
Just one's like this.
Well, and so no one else seemed to like, and look, like at the end of the day, like,
Did he get you there all right? I guess you didn't die.
I made it there in one piece.
Then you know what? You let my man just drink his NyQuil.
But I'll tell you what, man, like I hate those shuttle services because you don't know who you're going to get.
Yeah,
Like,
it's like a box of chocolates.
Sure, Forrest Gump was onto something.
Forrest Gump and Forrest Whitaker.
And, you know, Forrest Gump's son then saw dead people.
Forrest Gump's son
It was
saw
Haley
dead
Joel Osment.
Oh, was that his son in the movie?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yep.
I didn't know that.
Whose sister was in Hannah Montana.
Was she?
Mm-hmm.
Shit. You're Mr. Movies. Remember, did you do that movie? You were doing movie reviews for a while.
I did, what, 2 or 3?
Yeah.
What was it? The Nerdy Analyst, I think was my...
We were trying to plot the best name for.
Well, and do you remember, then there was like a period where like I was like parking domains and trying to sell them.
Yes.
And I was trying to like, all right, Donald Trump's going to be president, so I could get like Donald Trump, but because like DonaldTrump.com was already like the good ones are taken.
I'm sure. Yes.
And then
You
so
gotta
I was
really jump
buying,
ahead of the gun and
So
find something.
you just have to be able to see the future.
Yeah,
To
right.
or have a lot of money.
Sure, and
To
just
be
get
able to
a ton of things. Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, man, I have no interest to go to Cancun.
No, it was really nice.
It sounds but so beachy, you know? And for me, like,
Wait, I remembered something else that happened.
Go on.
So, the same girl that gave me the over the pants handy briefly, we were just talking. This was the next day, and we were like making fun, and she was embarrassed because she was really drunk. She didn't mean to do it. It was
she
no hard
remembered
feelings.
doing it.
She remembered doing
Yeah.
it. We were joking with her. So then the next day was April Fool's Day.
Okay.
So we the day that we're talking
Yeah.
now about all this, we
Yeah.
were like joking with her. We're like, oh my God, you don't remember all these things that you did. And we had her going for a little while.
What?
But then we were like, oh, we were going to get you. We told her eventually, like we came clean
Yeah.
to some other things that
Yeah.
we said that she did. And we were like, April Fools. We can't let you go all day thinking that you were doing all these terrible things.
Yeah.
And we were going to say way worse things like, we gave you an airtight. And she was like, what's an airtight? And we said, that's where all 3 holes are filled: your vagina, your asshole, and your mouth.
Every hole that can be filled is filled.
And then we told her that she would have then been in the 1%ers club, which 1%. It's a joke that all 1% of women are in the 1%ers club because that never happens. And I'm sure it's something like
Do you think that math?
0.0001% of women have been airtighted before.
Which means how many dudes are in the
Triple of that number.
Yeah.
Unless-
there are more dudes. Unless we talked about too, like
Dudes are getting airtighted and they only need 2 dicks.
less dicks to
So
airtight.
statistically speaking, way more dudes are in the airtight club than women.
Well, because you see people getting spit roasted all the time. So and if a dude is getting spit roasted, then it's an automatic airtight.
It's an airtight. It's a doubles as an airtight. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't
So-
know how much of that goes on regularly, and I'm not going to do much research into that.
Into spit roasting or to airtight?
He gave the male on male spit roasting. Yes, that one.
That's fair.
So we found this. There was this dude that came up to us. He was Canadian. His name was Graham. I think his name was.
They're always Canadian or British. I feel like Graham is very.
They vacation. Like on vacation. I always, no matter where I'm at, I'm always vacationing with Canadian people.
Sure. Yeah. That's fair.
And Graham. So then we started to joke like, "Oh, Graham, he's an animal.
Yeah.
He's coming over for the airtight later with that girl." And we were like, "Hey, Graham, we'll meet you at the club tonight on April Fool's Day."
Yeah.
For the
So you were fucking
for
with
the
this dude.
airtight.
Yeah.
Obviously, none of us were gonna do this.
Yeah.
So we just kept riffing off of it. So we do go to the club just because it's the thing to do late at night. And 11:50, like, towards the end of the night.
Yeah.
Who shows up? Graham. He goes, "Hey guys," and he kind of like rubs his hands together. I think he knew that we were just joking anyway. But like, how many times have you been invited to an airtight,
Zero.
joke or not?
Zero airtights.
Me too.
I've been invited to zero airtight parties. Did he say A? Or,
Hey, I'm here
what's
for the
up,
airtight.
buddy?
Eh?
What's up, buddy?
Hey guy.
Yeah, I mean,
Very polite.
wait, how did you meet this dude?
Oh, we were just talking to him in the pool. When you're that drunk, everybody's your friend.
But like,
We were all pretty blasted.
he wasn't there with anybody?
You know what? He had a travel companion. My man was there for actually like 10 days.
That's way too many days. So he's still there.
He is. He is still there. Holy shit.
Or
Today might be his last
Or
day.
he just left.
Yeah,
But still,
yeah.
that's wild.
Yeah, it is wild.
And so like,
But he was nice. But we roped him into. We were joking we could become club promoters. You
Sure.
got to fill like 75. You got to get 75 people into the club.
Yep.
We're just gonna tell 75 dudes that they're invited to the airtight.
and then they'll all show. Now, when you promote like that, do you have to put money up, don't you? And you
think so.
I think you get it back based
Once
on.
you fill the seats, like once you get that many people
Then
into
it's
the
money.
club, I think so.
I think that's what Fiona was doing in Shameless.
Yeah,
Right.
we also met a girl when we had gone to the Bahamas.
Yeah.
That she lived in New York, and when we told her that we lived in Delaware, she was like, "That's close enough for me. Come to the club and say my name." And we never went. Like, I'm not gonna try to do that.
Going
That
to
sounds
fucking New York
shifty.
is shit. But before we hop off, I want to say if this video works, then we then have to figure out. So there's going to be some posts that we'll have to work through, but this could, in theory, be our first video that is uploaded.
I'm so hyped.
Yeah, it seems very promising.
Yeah.
it seems very promising. And so I'm hopeful.
Yeah, me too.
And then if that doesn't work,
As long as you didn't press mute, because if you do, I think I'll fucking kill myself.
No, it's recording. It's recording. I forgot to arm you.
Shut the
Would
fuck
we
up.
record it again?
No,
Would we just not do
we would just not have an episode
this
this week.
episode isn't happening this week because we are trying to figure out video is what we would say. But we do have an interview coming up soon, and we got a special announcement that's coming with that.
Yeah, stay tuned.
Stay tuned. But if this works,
Yeah.
we will be on YouTube and we will have TikTok clips at the same time.
As long as TikTok's still a thing.
Which it very well might not be. Also, I'm gonna put we're still working through our merch situation, so we have a shirt that's up. Ours should be shipping soon. Eric and I.
I don't think that we didn't go over this. If you had previously bought a shirt through the campaign, through the other website that was up, like by the time this drops, like it was like a week and a half ago or 2 weeks ago, that did not go through. If you paid money, you should already have it refunded. If that didn't happen, reach out.
Custom ink. I got my refund.
Good.
You should have gotten yours.
I never checked, but I'll double check.
They automatically, it gets handled on their end. So we didn't see any of those proceeds come through. We didn't see
it.
Any
Just
of
never
that.
happened. Nothing happened at all. They didn't launch the
It
thing.
was a straight refund. And then the new service, that is just you buy a shirt, they just ship it directly to you.
Yep. No campaign or anything like that.
No campaign.
So
The
please
shirts are
buy
cheaper.
those. It's and they are cheaper, thankfully. So
And there is, I don't know if by the time this
don't think there's the
episode airs,
promo
I think
code.
we had a promo code, and depending on how much attention it and hype it gets, I might throw it back on.
Yeah.
We can only discount it so much.
yeah,
I think I did 10%.
it was
But I think it was $26.99 shipped, and that's here in Delaware. In Delaware, we don't have tax. So,
Yeah.
I don't know what that is based on your state. But we have them ordered. We're gonna
So right now we just have t-shirts
Yep.
and we want to add hats.
Yup.
Sleeveless.
Yup.
Shirts. What else do you want? Stickers.
Stickers. And then I want to do a hoodie.
Cool.
I think a hoodie is good, but Jenna is going to make
we
some
get-
different designs.
Can we get pants with daddies on the butt?
Sure.
Like, you know how it would say
Well-
what was it? Juicy for the
Juicy, like pink or whatever. And so like the two skeletons, like that's our logo.
Yep.
But we're going to also have some other designs coming through. But yeah, other than that, hopefully I have my fingers crossed that this is it.
Yeah. Cool.
But again, thanks for listening. I'm Greg,
And I'm Eric.
and we're the Daddies.